Okay, we will call to order the commission meeting now on December 17th at 2:11 p.m. We'd like to start with a prayer reading or thought. Aaron Davidson will give us that, and then Heather Allen will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Our Heavenly Father, we are thankful for this day that we can meet together. We are thankful for the freedoms that we enjoy. And we pray for wisdom and discernment as we make decisions for the county. And these things we pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Aaron.
Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
That was my thought.
Okay, thank you, Aaron and Heather. We'll now build our consent agenda. Are there any of those 19 items that commissioners would like to hold?
Number 12.
12?
Just a quick clarification when
Okay.
it's time.
Okay. Any others from you, Commissioner
No.
Gardner? Okay. And then as far as the regular agenda,
I wanted to hold item 12.
12 on there.
I have a lot. 2, 7, 9,
7, 9.
12,
Mm-hmm.
13, 15, 19. I promise none are too long except one.
Okay. Any others from you?
No.
That lines up. And then as far as closed, we'll strike 20, 21, and 23. No, I'm
Wait.
sorry. We'll strike 21, 22, and 23 and hold 24. Excuse me.
Wait, we do
Did
need
you
number
guys-
21 for
Oh, we do?
for the
18. Did you want to table that?
Oh, that's the
yes.
one.
yeah, we
Thanks so
table
much.
18 and then we
And
need
hold.
21 to
Yep.
discuss.
Boy, guys, I think I should start over here. Okay, so we're going to table 18 and then hold for closed 21.
And
Discuss
20
those names.
and 24.
And then 24, striking 22 and 23.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I
Sorry,
have.
Jolene. Boy, you.
It's
Give
the
you-
last meeting of the year,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah,
why.
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to hold on our consent agenda number 12. On the regular agenda, we are going to hold 2, 7, 9, 12, 13, 15, and 19, and we will table number 18. On our closed agenda, we will hold number 21. We will strike number 22 and number 3, and hold number 24.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. Item 12 on consent, Richard.
And Richard, just a quick question. I read it as just an extension, no change to anything for
Correct.
this year.
Yeah, we're in the process of doing the new RFP for the cleaning services.
Okay.
The current agreement with RBM expires at the end of December.
Right.
We just need to get through the end of January so we can get the new contract in place with whoever we select on that. new
Okay, so
one.
you anticipate a mid-year change?
Well, it'll be the end of you'll have it on one of your January meetings.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I just want to look at that service level, and so I was just curious
Yep.
on that.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is just to get us through January as we make that selection on the
perfect.
new bid.
Thank you, sir. I will make a motion to approve item number 12.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And looks like Richard's still up. Approve or deny waiver for BYU for the historic courthouse.
I just wanted to clarify on that one to yes, approve the fee waiver for 0. Usually I want something, but educational
Yep, this
and
is a
exterior.
student group. So.
I don't anticipate us incurring any costs. So
Yep. And BYU's covering the insurance, so this is just for the fee waiver for a student project.
okay,
Okay.
so I make a motion to approve item 2 with the fee waiver.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. Item 7. Adopt and sign resolution establishing property tax levy for the funding of the health department.
I mean, I'll start in more of a discussion for me.
Okay.
I don't hate the idea, but my first question maybe for Ezra and Paul, and then I'll have some questions for my counterparts. But is this timely that needs to be done today? If it's not done today, do we miss a deadline for something? Is my first question.
The levy wouldn't go into effect until a different year if we didn't do it today, is my understanding. That's correct.
So not doing it today would put us back an entire year.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted. Okay, then second question, maybe just for open discussion for the two of you. I like it. I like the clarity to the public. I like that the health department wants it. I mean, we're here to be supportive. My concern is they're not understanding maybe some unintended consequences. So an example, maybe a bad sales tax year and they have a loss. We have the ability now, and I guess we would to kind of help that loss. But in my opinion, with this request, it's more of a I'm cutting you off. This is like my 19-year-old child going on their own kind of a scenario. I also can get worried that they're underestimating the growth. It may only be 70,000, 100,000, 150,000 one year, and they need 300,000 or 400,000 in requests, where we have a better model of absorbing that now, and we wouldn't then. So any response to that?
Yeah, I can give you a couple because this is something we've been working on for a while. So I agree. This increases transparency and accountability, and that's why this is something that I've worked on with the health department as their portfolio commissioner. Right now, the Board of Health, which I sit on, actually has no accountability for the budget whatsoever, and the citizenry doesn't know how much of our general fund we spend on public health, and so putting a health department levy in place does without increasing the taxes, because it would just come from the tax levy. It would not be an increase at all. But doing a dedicated tax levy would do two things. It would show the public exactly how much of their property taxes is going to public health. The second part is it would put some responsibility onto the Board of Health to try to balance that budget. Because if not, that Board of Health is going to have to recommend to the commission to increase that levy. Now, with that said, if there's a low year, or if there's a special project, or if there's, something like a COVID happens, we would have the ability to still use the general fund to supplement that. So that actually wouldn't affect their ability to do that at all. But it would give us the ability to push back on them and say,
that's my thing. I'm going to be far less, and I've told this to Eric, I'm going to be far less generous in my assistance, using the example of my child who wants to move out on their own, than I am now with the current. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And I've also made it clear to Eric, I'm not going to do a truth in taxation for the health department. So I just made it clear to him, like, unless it's an absolute emergency, we're not going to put our residents through a tax increase multiple times because of the way that we structured. Now, if we're evaluating a general fund truth in taxation, then we should assessing and collecting as well as health. But on a standalone, I will have no interest in doing so.
Well, and I don't think you would have to on a standalone. And those are all valid points. We would have the ability to utilize the general fund to give additional money if we needed to. That does not take away from our ability at all. And to your point, if you're doing a truth in taxation for the general fund because of inflation, then you would also look at that for the health levy, for the ANC levy, and you would do it at the same time. All of that's true. You're right. There is some risk to this. The reward aspect of this to them is that as population grows, they are guaranteed growth with that population. The risk is, just like you said, if the commissioners say, no, you're not getting any more, then they have to do, I mean, not that would be any different than we've done in the last several years. It is of note that of the 10 other largest counties in Utah, we are the only one that doesn't do this. The other 10 largest counties do this because of the level of transparency and accountability, but there is also increased risk. So you're right, it increases transparency, it increases accountability, and it also increases risk.
For me, the director wants it, right?
Yeah.
Eric, as you're walking up here.
Yeah.
And that was my started with.
He wants it,
Yeah.
right? He knows he's forgotten more about this stuff than I'll ever know, as I like to say. And so,
it's we're with a growing county.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it goes both ways, right? If there are years where there's a decrease, then the mill wouldn't generate more, right? It would be less, and we would need to operate within what's generated. And I think you've seen for the past 5-6 years that Tyler and I have been in the leadership position at the health department that we have operated within our means. And in fact, we're actually reducing and continuing to find efficiencies and continue to utilize innovation to get more for the tax dollar that comes our way. That philosophy isn't going to change. And so what we would like to see is, we don't have massive fleets. We don't have, it's really 70% of our budget. It's really benefits and salary. It's people serving people, and with a growing population, we would like to see stable funding grow with the population growth to sustain the services that we provide for maternal child health and all of the other services that we have. And that's the desire, understanding the risks that this doesn't adjust for inflation, right? But in talking to Skylar, I do understand that we're not going to be the entity that is trying to do a TNT year over year. We're not. And you'll see from our budgetary asks for 2026, they're really budgetary needs, right? That's how we operate. It's how we'll continue to operate. Again, with what we invest in public health programming and services for our county, it is the lowest in the state. We will continue to be efficient and drive efficiencies in any way we can.
I have a question
yeah.
for you on that. So knowing that all this does is guarantee a base minimum funding per capita, which, as you stated, is the lowest in the state. Utah County is the lowest in the state based funding on public health per capita. So that guarantees you that. Would you still feel comfortable if you had something? You would have to come and try to convince us to use some of the general fund for anything additional beyond that base per capita funding.
We would try to avoid that scenario just through how we organize and lead out our operations and control. Now that we have better tools for looking at budget to actuals and things like that, and just mid-year. But we would, if there was a public health emergency or something that would require over and above a given year. But we're committing to doing what we can with what would be increased with the growth, right? The services for public health are only going to grow as the county grows. It has been, and that's what we're looking to be able to provide is a consistent. We also want to have 3-5-year budgets. It's really hard for us to budget a forecasted budget over multiple years when we don't know the ups and downs of what's going to be provided from any given year. But met with Bert and saw the projected growth, and we look backwards at the growth we've had over the past several years, and it's a moderate growth and growth trend line, and we're seeing that and expect that to happen modestly over the next several years, knowing that there will be years where there are crazy housing markets and affecting building and other things that impact property growth and things like that. But it's not a magic bullet. We're not looking for a windfall. We're looking for stable.
Base stable.
Base stable.
You would still have to come for anything else.
Right. So that's where we're at. That's the philosophy. That's what we're asking for it.
Just briefly, what is the reasoning for it taking so long for us to be so slow to the table with something like this?
To do this, we've actually even my predecessors have looked at this, and other counties have, and it's never been approved.
Gotcha.
I can say I wasn't willing to vote for it until they balanced their budget.
Gotcha.
And so for me, it's been a 4-year glide path because it was 4 years. I think you've been in for 5 years.
5
So
years.
Eric's only been in for 5 years. I've been in for 4.5. And when I became his portfolio commissioner, we identified an $11 million yearly shortfall. And I said, I'm not willing to vote for this until you have a balanced budget, because I think that's setting you up for failure.
Okay.
So he's worked really hard over the last 4 years to balance that budget. And now that balance, that's the only reason I'm willing to vote for it now, is because I feel like we've had a balanced budget. Prior to that, it didn't make any sense to me.
Okay.
But with that said, you have to keep a tight belt then, because your base minimum funding will stay static with just population growth.
Which is what I've seen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Eric, you've done that over the last few years. You've adjusted fees where you've needed to, and you've ran a
On
very
this
lean
model
ship.
will encourage better
That'll-
stewardship even of
Exactly.
fees.
Yeah.
That's
So
exactly
my
right.
mind first went to, well, can we reverse this ever? And it sounds like the answer would be no, because, you know, and we
That's for
wouldn't need
you,
to.
Paul.
But only like my mind went there because I never want to do something that binds a future
Yeah,
elected official. If I
Yeah.
get unelected,
Yeah.
then somebody else makes a different decision than me. I certainly don't want to, stand in the way of that opportunity.
Mhm.
But it sounds like if we're the, sort of late to the party, if you
Yep,
will, or
yeah.
getting here,
I think
see
the other
that.
then
aspect-
essentially it sounds like it's working in
Yeah.
other counties of our like size.
Correct.
I think the other aspect is if the rate that he was asking for was like, towards the top,
Mhm.
but it's literally the lowest per capita in the
Possible.
state. And so it's like, I
Very
can't see us
conservative
going
approach.
down.
Yeah.
I'm asking for a budget neutral rate, right?
Yep.
In 2026, and I also, Commissioner Powers Gardner mentioned this. Amelia mentioned that I do value the public in a transparent way, seeing what in their property taxes go towards public health services. I see the value in that, in making that transparent to them.
Awesome.
So-
Thanks. Any more questions for Eric?
Not for Eric,
Okay.
but if I could, Rod or Rudy or Gina, budgetary question. One on the rate, on how we got to the rate and is equal to their 26 allotment. And the second being, do we have a projection of what?
We don't have a rate, do we? Because that rate gets calculated in May when we know what all the assessed property is. That's when we do the rate. What you would be determining now is the amount. And by
So
default,
we're giving their base levy equal to the dollars of what we're giving for next year's budget.
so I believe that's what they're asking for. But that doesn't establish a rate until the certified
May.
tax rates
Right.
come
Well,
out.
I mean, so yeah,
Right.
you're being too technical, Rod. Is the money we're giving to them next year the same that we're using as the base forever?
It is my understanding that the money we're giving to them next year is almost exactly the same as what
Okay.
you already were proposing. We're within $50,000
Perfect.
of what you set aside.
And then the second, do we have an estimate on what their growth would look like? So if we use the projected growth we're using, what does a year over year, what do we anticipate them getting in 27 over 26? Do we have that number?
4.9 plus 3%.
Historically, it's been 3 to 5% a year growth.
Yeah. And I
if
think
you
we're
go
giving
back
them
to
what,
the last-
4.9 million?
Is the 4.9 is the base?
Now,
And
you
we-
could choose to raise that here and in the budget.
It looks like 1.47.
147,000? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
147,000.
Okay.
And that's assuming a 3% population increase.
But it's not population,
It's revenue.
property.
Well, population, yeah.
Yeah, it's
What did we say?
Property.
it's property value growth.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I like it.
Are you good? Yeah,
what we're
new
talking about.
development.
Right,
Sorry,
so
Matt,
it's
sorry.
It's
New
it's
development.
commercial growth, it's housing,
New
it's
development. I apologize. We're being technical again.
well, just
Either
being
way, the number
accurate.
is the same.
It's just, 'cause
147,000 at 3%.
rates don't drive the revenue, the revenue drives the
Right.
rates.
Feel good? Get all
Yeah.
your questions answered.
Yeah.
That's good. Good discussion up here.
I think it was a great discussion. I appreciate it.
I'd entertain a motion.
Motion to approve item number 7.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Item 9, approve and authorize the signing of a resolution amending the voting precincts in and for Utah County.
Yeah, just a couple comments. First, thank you to the clerk's office for all the work on very short notice. In saying that we have some activist judge map, so thank you for doing the work. 22 errors for this map that we shouldn't be obligated to be under. So I appreciate your efforts in complying with that. I'm not happy about it, but thank you for your efforts to get us where we need to be. And I'll make a motion to approve item number 9.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, item 12, approve the signing of a sponsorship agreement between Spanish Fork City and Utah County for the Spanish Fork competition pool.
I think Commissioner Garner, did you?
Yeah,
Hold
I
on.
did. I had a couple of updates for the contract that I wanted to look at. One is I noticed that in the contract, it was for maintenance and operation, not just construction. And I don't know if we've done maintenance and operation for any of the other facilities. I would prefer to not do, I don't mind doing
Don't want to open a
construction.
can of worms.
That's exactly. I don't want to open the can of worms for operations and maintenance. We tell people all the time we're not in the rec center business, and I'd like to keep us out of the rec center business.
Well, my understanding it was for debt service, Adam, is that right?
And I'm fine with debt service. I'm fine with construction costs,
yeah.
just not ops and maintenance.
Okay.
I don't want us being in that business. That was one of the updates I had. The other one is I know the zip code that it included the county residents outside of city bounds in one zip code, and I would like to add the other zip code that covers West Mountain 84651 as well, but specify non-city residents in the 84651 zip code as well.
Yeah, because that'd have Payson, and so
Yeah,
yeah,
it would-
just making sure that they're
We're not doing Payson City
county
residents,
residents.
but they're county residents in the 84651 zip code. I don't want to leave those guys out.
You said county residents?
Yes. So
Okay.
I would specify non-city because I guess everyone could say they're a county resident.
Okay.
But
okay.
County non-city residents in the 84651 zip code as well.
Okay.
Got to take care of my West Mountain folks. I know though you Benjamin Lakeshore
No,
folks.
well, that's why my mind is going like, is there others?
Right.
That you're representing.
And I honestly think we could
It's a small pool, but those
in
growing
theory-
up and being that kid that paid the extra $20 to play
That's
ball.
exactly right.
My parents' property taxes didn't build the ball fields,
Right.
but we had to pay extra.
Right.
But now that these,
I mean, if I'd ever
county
lived
funds are
rural or if
helping.
I was ever a farmer, I would have thought the same way.
oh yeah, that's too bad for you. Uh-huh.
Yeah, looking at the maps, there's that'll basically cover all the unincorporated county residents in that Spanish Fork region. Other than that, it's Payson, and then it just goes further south.
Okay.
Yeah. And so if someone comes to us with a different zip code, that one they want to add, I think we could do a friendly amendment for that. But I wanted to make sure that we're adding 84651 as the zip code and taking out ops and maintenance.
I don't have a problem with that. But those were your two?
Those were my two.
And I just wanted to add a good concession we got was 20% off memberships for all county residents. So anyone who lives around the Spanish Fork Rec Center, this deal will get you 20% off of your
The employees, county employees.
county employees off your membership.
20% off your membership if you're a county employee. We're trying to get Brandon to go to a city's rec center instead of some gym.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh, I'm too flabby. It's Christmas time, maybe at the first of the year. Yeah. What are we doing? Oh, of course not. Andrea knows me. Okay, any other
No, motion to approve item number 12.
With the changes?
Oh, with the
discuss changes? You're good there, Adam?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
debt service and the extra zip code.
Yep.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, item 13. Adam's nice. You're at the pulpit. Still saying approve and authorize an agreement between Utah County and Utah Valley Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Yeah, we had an error on the dollars and I saw it was updated yesterday, so thank you for that. And then I wanted to make a note, we are adding the 27 and 28 year. We typically do 1 year, this will be 3. And I'd like to have the increase be at 2.75% each of those years.
Is that without further discussion? But with further discussion, they could go higher if there was an
Yeah,
increase.
yeah, they could ask for whatever. Yeah, that's just an automatic increase. So they're getting 3.6 this year, they'd get 2.75 increase on that next year. And then 2.75 increase on that one then
What,
following.
how'd you come up with that number? Just curious.
100,000 a year is pretty much what I was shooting for, is what we were giving them this year. We gave them a big jump last year. And then I kind of want to, that fund is draining quickly as we were in the fairgrounds meeting yesterday. And we've got to start tightening a little bit there. And I think that organization's fantastic. And I can foresee us giving them a lot more money than that. I just don't want it to be contractually obligated more than about 100,000 a year. And if they come up with something, that's great.
They've got like more specific projects.
Oh, which we love to fund all throughout the year.
Yeah.
Are we obligated to for a certain percentage?
We
From
are
my
at
memory.
TRT
Yeah,
market.
you could currently it's written as an up to, so whatever budget you guys approve, as long as it's under that percentage, that's what would be provided to them next year. But we could also go this route where we just give them that definitive dollar amount and tell them to live within that. So
No, and I'm fine with this. I just want to make sure we were meeting that obligation. So
Yeah.
his number meets that obligation.
Statutorily, you've got to spend 2/3 of the first 3% of the TRT
In market.
in marketing, not necessarily with this group, but in that effort.
Right. I just find we have a bigger ROI with this group because they track things and
100%.
yeah. So I prefer to spend it with the group that is accountable and transparent.
And it
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily limit us. And
Right.
yeah, currently this based on our revenues, this contract fulfills that obligation and then some.
So it's base plus, and then anything beyond that for like a special project, they would need to come before us and ask for that in the contract.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm fine with that.
Love it. And in Skylar's words, they dominate.
they
And we
do.
like to dominate.
They do.
They do incredible work. For
I
those that
suspect
don't
we're going to
understand,
get a lot more Big 12 travel because
Sure.
of the work they've done.
these last two items are tourism and dollars, and we take it serious, and we're putting Utah County on the map in many good ways. So yeah, and the Big 12 is
Yeah.
helpful in that as well as all the other things. So
And the
thanks
airport.
for all your efforts on that. I'd entertain a motion.
Yeah, motion to approve item number 13
With the 2.75.
with the 2.75 adjustment.
2.75, you said?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And that
Per
gives them-
year.
Per year,
Year.
yeah. That gives them some. They'll
Yeah,
know they're going to
28.
get the 100,000, 108,000,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Same with health. Like it helps them just
Yeah.
be look ahead. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Yeah, I think the fact that that's a multi-year contract too is going to be huge for them. It for the employees not knowing if their organization is going to get funding next year
Mm-hmm.
has been difficult. Us giving them 3 years gives them the ability to have recruit and keep good talent. So
All right. Item 15, Brittany. Approve and authorize the signing of a resolution authorizing the Human Services Manager or designee to execute TANF landlord agreements on behalf of Utah County.
Me again.
Did you have a specific question?
I do. Well, I have a concern and then a question. I read it as though this benefit has a max of 4 months of assistance. Is that correct?
Yes, and I think that's covered by the program.
Yeah, correct. But that helps me alleviate my concern. The contract allows human service manager or designee. I have slight concern with designee expending these kind of dollars. I can trust, Claudia, and Ezra's Claudia's boss, so that gives me a little bit more comfort. But the 4-month cap alleviates that concern for me.
And we did discuss whether or not we add designee or take it out. I discussed that with Claudia. She said for the time being, she doesn't have someone under her who's running the program, so it would be her. But in the future, that might be something she wanted available. But if you're uncomfortable with that, we can strike that part of
Yeah,
it.
that helps me. That leads me the other way of removing it.
Take
So
it out
yeah.
and put it back in.
If we needed
Sure.
it. Yeah, that helps me. Thank
Okay.
you, Brittany.
We're
We
okay
can
to
make
do
that
that,
change.
right?
So I will make a motion to approve item 15, removing designee from the contract.
I second that.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you, Brittany. All right. 18 tabled. We'll come back to that. 19, approve a resolution adopting the 26 budget for the general fund and other budgetary funds of Utah County with its applicable supporting documentation.
This is when we break into song. It's the most
Thank you.
So
everyone.
that's what I held it.
of the
For-
year.
I held it just to say that. Very smooth, good process. It helps after the process of last year. The way that the system works, this should be our easiest and best year for budgeting. It only gets worse, but I wanted to thank everybody. The three of us, I think I was only like 200,000 less. So, anyone who knows me, that's very good. And so I appreciate that we got very close to all being unanimous on this budget. Not everybody got everything they wanted. We put $1 million into the sheriff's office. I wish it could be more. It should be more. We were only able to essentially invest in corrections this year. The attorney's office, $1 million. Obviously, we've had some national notoriety on why our attorney's office needs quite the investment as our population continues to grow. So, both of those got $1 million. Assessing, we did do good investments into assessing this year, and IT. Those are the four I wanted to pinpoint that we invested heavily into those areas. So, if you did not, get a good chunk of money this year, thank you for being a team player. And hopefully the cycle will come back to you when it's your time. But I did want to notate a significant investment this year into attorneys and sheriff. Like I said, I wish it could be more, but we are able to save some money for a CIP in this budget, which is also very important. And we were able to approve supplement service with natural growth. And that's exactly how I personally like to budget. And so I feel really good about it. So thank you to everybody in their participation.
Yeah, thank you. I got a couple of things. Number one is I think I've done more budgets than either of you. So maybe the most experienced here, and this was the best year we've had.
County,
I think was
county
budgets. Yes, obviously county budgets because you've done way more city than I have.
Yep.
I mean, you're so much older. You've done a lot more.
I need to go to the rec center apparently. Yeah.
But we had I think this year we had the most engagement from the commission. We had the most compromise. We had the most support from the auditor staff. I think this was a really good year. I too had three things I wanted to point out. One, on the sheriff's office, I agree. We were able to give them $1 million. That, while that seems like a fantastic thing, just for public note, one of the items on our agenda today that was passed unanimously was an adjustment of $600,000 just for jail food. That means in 2025, we spent $600,000 more dollars feeding inmates. Now, you might ask, did you change their diet? Did you change them to filet mignon? No, we actually pushed back, and our per meal cost did not go up from 2024 to 2025. The entire $600,000 increase was 24% more inmates in the jail. Okay, 24% more inmates in the jail. The only way to avoid paying for that is to release the prisoners, like Salt Lake County has done the last few years, and the legislature had to get involved and tell them they weren't allowed to release people anymore. Our citizens do not want criminals on the streets. And so this is something we need to be aware of. Just as we become a more urban county, we have an increase of crime, right? $600,000 in increased jail costs just because we have 24% more inmates in our jail. So that's kind of big, something that's going to be hitting us more in the future. And the second thing is we did give $1 million to the attorney's office, but I do think we need more victims and witness coordinators. I literally got a call from a friend yesterday who has an ex-husband who violated a protective order. This is a man who has literally climbed a power pole and cut off her power in the middle of the night before. She has a protective order. He violated it. She's a public official, and he doxed her address, putting her in danger, and she can't get a victims witness coordinator from our county to call her back because they have too much on their plate. Okay, this is a public person with a history of violence against them who can't get the victims witness coordinator to call them back, not because our victims witness coordinators aren't doing their job, but because they have 400 cases each. If that were your daughter or your friend, how would you feel? So this is something that we need to continue to work on. And we know that, but we only have as enough money as we have. So these are we've done a lot, but there's still a lot more to go. And then the third thing, the only thing that I am disappointed about in this budget is I wanted a Doge. I wanted a director of government efficiency and innovation that could help departments identify where efficiency could be found, that could work hand in hand with the departments to implement those solutions. And then I wanted that person to track the amount of money they saved. And if the money they saved didn't justify their salary, then they'd lose their job the next year. So I thought it was a revenue neutral idea. And you know me, I like government efficiency. I wanted a Doge. That's the only thing. That's the only reason my budget was higher than yours, was I funded a Doge. And
That's
I'm
not, is this you pouting?
yes,
right
this is
now?
me pouting.
I've seen this.
I wanted a
Christmas morning.
Doge.
This is a week early. This is
Maybe,
like my kids
maybe
when
for
they don't get
Christmas
what they
this year,
want.
Santa will bring me a Doge.
Keep hoping.
Okay.
No, joking aside, I watched, 3 and 4 years ago this process, right, from the outside looking in, and we don't always get along between just 3 commissioners, and that's sometimes a challenge. Only
Sometimes
having
they don't
3,
give me a Doge.
because when you don't get the Doge, it's because 2 others said no, and 1 wants it, right? And the same has happened to all 3 of us in some capacity.
Right.
And so the idea that came together a few years ago was really like, let's get everybody in the room so that Bert Garfield and Andrea Allen understand the different asks, or Anthony Canto and all of our different department heads, right? And they understand, why the sheriff's, cuff ports are important this year, or just different asks. And so really the collaboration as we literally start early in the year doing this, understanding what everybody's needs are and projections and look ahead, really has been such a great collaborative, effort. And so congratulations to Rodman and his team. I applaud all of your employees, and not just you, but everyone that played a hand in this, and it was very many. I really applaud Ezra's office in helping us facilitate many of these conversations and discussions. That was the secret sauce for the 11 budgets that I passed at the city. And it was really important that the city manager and the county administrator facilitate a lot of those discussions. So thank you.
Mhm.
Did I miss anything?
Maybe that's why it was such a mess before that, because we didn't have an Ezra
I
until
don't
the
know.
last 2 years.
I don't know. But we don't want him to get too big ahead. But yeah, everybody really helped.
Yeah, no,
what
absolutely.
a great budget process. So
Agreed.
if there's anything else to address, I'd entertain a motion.
Unless either one you want to add a Doge.
A second.
It's worth
Okay.
a try.
If we do that, then the sheriff's going to run right up to the microphone and say, "Wait a minute," because
Jeff will
Right.
be halfway down
Jeff
here.
Gray, you'll
All
try to
right,
trip him on
fine.
the way up.
I thought,
Trust me.
I figured the worst you could say is no. And then I'm in the same place as I was.
Yeah.
All right, I will make a motion to approve item number 19 without a Doge.
Okay. Wow.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right. Before we go into closed session, is there anyone from the public that would like to address the commissioners? If so, please come up, state your name. We will have a 2-minute shot clock for you, and just address the commissioners and let us know. Anyone?
Hello, my name is Pam Ogden, and I am here because of a concern I have with Ezra Nair's recent addition to the Vineyard City Council. Given that he is a county administrator, I have some deep concerns about conflict of interest. And wondered if any of you shared those concerns. Or if it's something one might consider. I know Vineyard had, I think, 6 candidates that they were considering to take Sarah Cameron's place, and I just don't think that both parties can be served by the positions can be served well by the same person.
Thank you, Pam.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, I entertain a motion.
Wait.
Oh, excuse me. We're going to go into closed session. Thank you. Not adjourning. Okay, thank you, everyone. We will go into closed session.